I bleed tonight if I am sad tonight? I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home.
2 card rooms, 2 games, 2 parts of the vlog. Let's get into some hands. Both card rooms, I mostly play 5-5, 1 round of No Limit Hold'em, and then the next PLO. 1500 bind to start, but then match the biggest stack from then on. Pretty standard pre-flop in this first hand. I raise Queen Jack suited on the button to a few limps and go to a multi-way King High flop, where I just have the gut shot. GG leads really small for 35, and it actually folds to me. Can't fold to that good of a price, deep stacked in position, and I decide to raise since I've seen this player lead weak with weak hands and then fold to a raise. If I get re-raised, no big deal. I insta-fold with not much of a hand. He ends up calling, and I'm now pretty much done with this hand, unless offsuit 10, running good. I bet 300. Could have been bigger to 350 maybe, since it's a wet board and this player has shown a lot of interest and also doesn't like folding. We get a call and a board paired 3 on the river, facing a blocker bet voicing same bet. Barely any full houses in his range, limp calling an early position and never raising. Going for value against a king, all in. He calls with king 9, flop 2 pair, and got sucked out on. Now I got him steaming. The very next hand, couple of ladies, and pretty much the same action pre-flop, except this time, GG puts in the raise to 100. Perfect scenario here, actually having a premium hand. Have him right where I want him, put in a 4-bet to 335, and he quickly goes all in. I snap call, and I'm ready for some more sweet chips. Like taking candy from a baby. Oh, he has aces, and I'm pretty much drawing dead. Why am I so unlucky? Those first 2 hands were at Outlaws Casino. This next one is at Central Coast Casino. 10-9 of clubs, raise it up to 25 and under the gun +1. Not a necessary open, but I don't expect much 3-betting. And you guess it, a 3-bet, not very large. Interesting size that I believe could effectively be used deep stacked when you want to 3-bet most of your continuing range in position and not call very often. Not when you only 3-bet strong hands, because then you're pretty face up giving your opponents a great price. That's my thought process anyway. The flop is pretty good. Top pair on a rainbow board and pretty standard call to about a 1/3 pot size bet of 90 into 250. Turn is alright, with a 7 and a second heart. No overcard, which is good. Paired board, 3 less outs if he has an overpair. That's bad. B checks back, and a really bad king of hearts on the river. I check and face a little over 2/3 pot size bet. I could reasonably go 3 different routes. Ace queen and ace jack would bluff at this card, so light call. He 3-bet pre and could of course have ace-king, which would be more likely than ace-queen or ace-jack, so fold. Or he is capped at ace-king, he would bet with a better hand, or even turned hearts and continue barreling. Top boats could check back, but I have a 10, so time for a bluff. The rare check-raise river jam, and B does indeed lay down the ace-king. Back to Outlaws for the last 2 hands. Since the game is short-handed, I'm on the button straddling, here facing a raise from the hijack to 45. I make the call with a nice 8-7 of clubs, deep stacked in position, 100 in the middle with 2K behind, and flop amazing. Go for the same bet strategy when check to me with trips, and a villain playing loose here in the early morning. Check raises to 145. Easy call. Let him continue barreling with not much to worry about. After king on the turn, I call a $300 bet. He could easily be taking advantage of that card, but it seems like it would be an odd play with a single king. Pocket kings maybe, but a single king might slow down since it now has showdown value and doesn't need to bluff anymore. River, another king. Facing a bet of 600. I believe it's a very standard call here. Just wanted to point out to think about hands before making rash decisions. It looks like a bad run out from the flop. Like, oh, of course he has a king here, and I'm underboated. But I think I pretty much only lose to pocket nines and pocket kings. Could be chopping, but a 7 might check on the river anyway. I get shown good news in the ace-deuce offsuit, and take this big one down. Last hold'em hand here, where I will show both players' cards. The button has a small blind already posted since a player busted. I make it 30 and get him to call 25 more with 8-5 of spades. Both blinds come along as well. I'm holding pocket 10s. This play is okay deep stacked, I think, being 400 big blinds effective on the button. For sure, should be folded 100 big blinds deep or less, but here it's okay. Flop is alright for the both of us. Jack, Jack 4, 2 spades. I bet half pot. No spade in my hand and block some likely jack hands. AC goes for a min raise to 120 and it's back on me. Daniel Negreanu has a good name for his play, the limit hold'em play, to see a cheaper turn card. I'm unlikely to re-raise him, and he can now dictate the action, taking away the initiative, check back and see the free river, or bet when you make a flush. I for sure can't fold getting 5-1. We see a total brick 2 on the turn, and AC checks back, taking the free card. Should be for sure double barreling when he picks up equity with a straight draw, or of course when he hits spades. This is the only action I don't particularly like in this hand. River is a 5. I check, face a half-size bet of 170. Villain now has showdown value with his pair of 5s, beating all my other flush draws, and doesn't really rep much for value. I would be calling all better hands and folding or bluffing all worse. Good for me, though, that he didn't check. Another great month for me. I'll go over the details more in part 2 of the vlog. Pot Limit Omaha. Be there, because 4 equal distance lines makes you a square. Also, get the videos while they're hot. This is the second video I've gotten taken down. Both 2 years old, so they do like to take their time. Just letting some witnesses know that if I go away for a while, you know that YouTube is the #1 suspect.
I didn't do nothing.
It's I didn't do anything. Didn't do nothing is a double negative, and first a positive. The grammar in this country is terrible.
Oh, yeah. I know some of these words. I'm not stupid.